Imagine having to navigate the demands of not just your craft, but also the unwelcome advances of those in power. This is the harsh reality for many women, revealed by the latest publishing of the Hema Committee Report that has rocked the Malayalam film industry to its core. But deep down, everybody knew this thing like it was an open secret. In 2017, a shocking incident happened that left the Malayalam film industry absolutely speechless. A prominent actress was abducted and assaulted, not by strangers, but by individuals from within the industry. One might think that this heinous act was an isolated case of abuse because of the situation going out of control, but no, it was the tipping point that exposed the festering issues of sexual harassment and gender discrimination in one of India's most revered and progressive film industries. There was a huge uproar, and actor Dileep, who was a then superstar and an extremely powerful authority in Malayalam cinema, was allegedly accused and arrested for this. He got out on bail eventually, but this opened up Pandora's box. It played a catalyst in the formation of Women in Cinema Collective, or the WCC. 18 women from the Malayalam film industry came together and stood by the survivor, ensuring that her voice was not drowned amidst the huge backlash, trolling, and threats that came towards her for speaking up. The WCC was formed in May of 2017 and was registered as a society under the Societies Registration Act on 1st November 2017. WCC played a pivotal role in pushing the Kerala government to act. These women, many of whom were veterans of the industry, came together to not just voice their own experiences, but to protect the next generation from the same fate. They met with the Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan to seek government support, and in response, the Kerala government took an unprecedented step. This was the birth of the Hema Committee, which was tasked with investigating the extent of these kind of cases, but also they were given the responsibility to recommend solutions. This committee delved deep into the industry's darkest corners, unearthing stories that have been buried for far too long. The Hema Committee was not just a group of investigators, it was a lifeline for the women in cinema who had been silenced for years. Led by retired Justice K. Hema, alongside K.B. Valasa Kumari, a former principal secretary, and the respected actress Sharada, this committee represented a beacon of hope. But hope is often hard to come by in a world where the power dynamics dictates silence. Because for this committee, the road to uncovering the truth was anything but smooth. The committee faced numerous challenges: fear, intimidation, silencing. Many women were just too scared to speak, knowing that their careers, not just their careers, even their lives were at risk. Like, they could literally drop dead if they dared to reveal the names and dare to actually say what they have endured. The committee had to fight against the clock, bureaucratic delays, and a culture of secrecy that is deeply, deeply embedded in the industry. And not just this industry. This is true for literally every industry where you know that power dynamics exists. But despite all this, the committee persisted and persisted like nobody's business. They assured that absolute anonymity would be honored whoever decides to come forward and share their story. After years of investigation, the Hema Committee finally presented its findings in 2019. But things are not looking good again. The report was kept under wraps for nearly 5 years, only seeing the light of the day in 2024. And mind you, this has only happened because of the relentless pressure that was given from the journalist and activists' end, which is crazy to me because the government just kept giving excuses, and very measly excuses for that matter, that why they could not, publish the report immediately. Guys, I think we all know the real reason why this report did not see the light of the day in 2019 itself. When the report was finally published in 2024, it was nothing short of explosive, but not really surprising. Right now, also around 80 pages are redacted from the report, out of which 55 redacted pages are to safeguard the survivors. But then it once again begs the question, what are there in those balance pages? Why are they redacted? The report laid bare the grim realities of the Malayalam film industry. The copy is out there for everyone to download and read, but I will just be highlighting some of the important points here. As per the document, sexual harassment was not just common, It was rampant. The committee found out that the women were often coerced into quote-unquote compromises or adjustments, euphemism for sexual favors, in exchange for roles. And this wasn't limited to some unknown individuals. Some of the biggest names of the industry have been implicated. The report also highlighted the pervasive gender discrimination. Women were systematically paid less than their male counterparts, and they faced significant barriers to entering the technical fields. Even those who managed to break through found themselves subjected to harassment and exploitation. The working conditions were equally appalling. Women on film sets lacked basic facilities like toilets and changing rooms. Yeah, this forced them to endure physical discomfort, risking their health in process, which is, well, obvious, right? And I'm glad that in the report, the committee actually recognizes this as a clear violation of human rights, like basic human rights. The report also exposed the existence of a very powerful lobby within the industry, actually referring it to as mafia, a group of influential men who controlled opportunities and silenced anyone who dared to speak out. The lobby ensured that the perpetrators were protected while the victims were ostracized, blacklisted, and subjected to severe cyberbullying. Women who tried to expose these crimes faced severe online harassment, their names were dragged through the mud, and they were subjected to vicious trolling with threats of violence and even death. The report revealed that this wasn't just a battle for justice, it was a battle for survival. Another example of this mafia operating happened in 2017 itself. I'm sure the viewers from Kerala can give me an even better context. I'm talking about the ban that was put on the filmmaker Vinayan by a Film Employees Federation of Kerala and also AMMA, that is the Association of Malayalam Movie Artists. And it was because he dared to raise his voice against the actor Dileep. Even he fought this out for years by submitting his grievance to the Competition Commission of India, or the CCI, and the Supreme Court eventually ruled on his favor and thereby penalizing FEFCA and AMMA. So yeah, I think it's really an open secret of the powerful lobby that actually exists in the industry. Despite these harrowing findings, the Hema Committee didn't just, expose the problems, they offered solutions. While working in tandem with the WCC, one of their key achievements was the establishment of the Internal Complaints Committee in every unit of the film production. This was in lines with the Vishaka guidelines that has been set by the Supreme Court. And because of the existence of this committee that was present in literally every unit of the film production, it provided a safe space for people to go and actually lodge their grievances, like officially and without fear of retaliation. They also called for mandatory provision of basic facilities on every film set, such as clean toilets, safe changing rooms, and secure transportation. No production, they insisted, should be allowed to proceed without ensuring that these facilities were in place. The report further recommended the implementation of gender sensitization programs across the industry, aiming to educate all stakeholders on the importance of gender equality and respect. The committee stressed the need for systemic change to dismantle the toxic power structure that has allowed such abuses to flourish. In my view, the Hema Committee Report is a landmark document. Its release has sparked a wave of introspection and calls for reform. As of now, we are witnessing actual FIRs being lodged basis this report and resignations from prominent personalities in AMMA. I mean, we all know in the news that Mohanlal resigned as the president of AMMA, and after that also he gave out a statement which was not taken very kindly. But in all honesty, a true and actionable change will only happen if everybody works collectively. The industry, the government, and society at large. One might wonder if it is the fall of this very, very prominent and progressive industry, but I say that this is the road to revolution and an uprising of the Malayalam film industry. The power dynamics in the entertainment world is not unknown to us. We know that this happens in literally every freaking industry that exists. Remember the Me Too movement that started in Bollywood and the way it just fizzled out? Haven't we witnessed the actual whitewashing of the alleged perpetrators? Do you think that other industries in India are going to follow suit? This is national news, and I don't see many people from across industries of the nation banding together and demanding a similar committee. The silence, ironically, is extremely loud, and it has not gone unnoticed, at least to the cinephiles, for sure. But if there is one thing that the Hema Committee report has shown us, is that the voices of the survivors are not going to go unnoticed. The time for change is now, and like I said, this uprising that is happening in the Malayalam cinema, I am really hoping that the survivors get the justice that they have been waiting for so long. And we need to look into ourselves also as a society and the way we make parasocial relationships with celebrities. Say what you will, it's unhealthy. I mean, that's the reality. Accept it or not, but it's a fact. Anyway, I'm keeping an eye on how this news is progressing on a weekly basis, not daily, but on a weekly basis. I am ensuring that I take an update and see how things are progressing. If you have any new updates, please pen them down in the comments below. I do understand the sentiment that as fans it's quite disappointing, because if I am also a fan of an XYZ actor and that person is actually pulling up crap and doing actual criminal offense, oh, then yes, it'll be disappointing. My worldview of that person gets shattered, but that's how I kind of introspect that, yeah, it's toxic to have this kind of parasocial relationship where you just become a crazy fan and you think that the person can do no wrong. The honest to God truth is, we don't know these people. We don't know these actors. We don't know anything. Guys, we're just making up a scenario in our head by watching their interviews and movies, and that is it. That is it. And all the stuff related to casting couch or the power dynamics or the movie mafia, we know it exists in the back of our head, but it's like the secret that we just brush under the rug because, yeah, we don't want to face the uncomfortable truth. But now that it's out, I'm very happy that there's a lot of discourse and we are talking about it, and this is a national news. Let's wait and watch what happens, but I am just glad that we're progressing in the right direction, and that's where my opinion stands. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and with that I will end this video here, and I will see you soon on my next one. Bye.